are broke, you should not be dating.
Okay, I wonder if that applies to women as well as men.
I'm not saying if you're broke, you're not worthy of love and happiness.
Well, that's good, because that would be a very classist mentality.
You're just not worthy of me.
No, so this is a pay-to-play kind of thing, is it?
Just kidding. You need to focus on yourself. Broke guys are usually the most insecure guys on the planet. I swear to God.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure they're very happy and secure in the fact that they don't have to worry about dating someone who's only after their money.
It's not necessarily their fault.
Oh?
Because as a society, we have prided men and we have made their self-worth contingent on how much money they make or their profession.
As a society, is it? Well then, it seems like some women are doing a great job of perpetuating that.
The broke men, they walk around with a chip on their shoulder.
Is anyone else wondering what they actually consider to be broke?
If you don't like your circumstances, try to do something about it. Don't be mad at everyone else. Especially not me. What did I do?
Well, one is perpetuating the idea that men aren't worth dating unless they make a certain amount of money every year, which is really no different than men saying that they won't date a woman unless she looks a certain way. But yet, lots of women find reasons to get mad at that.
Said, if you don't propose to me, you can say goodbye to me and you can say goodbye to the dog. I couldn't believe that he wasn't desperate to lock it down. Are a real thing. And I don't think we're talking about this enough because I think all of us want that, oh my God, I just really wasn't expecting this. Can you believe this? This just came totally out of the blue. I'm here to tell you 85, if not higher, percentage of proposals are because of ultimatums. That's my hot take. I think we should be normalizing ultimatums because it's actually damaging to see all these surprised engagements because they're not real. They're not real. Literally every single person I know has given their partner an ultimatum. Yet we're trying to pretend we're not giving ultimatums.
And I told him that if he didn't propose to me by December 31st at 11:59 that I was gonna leave. So tell them what you think.
First off, if you're gonna tell me you have by this date to marry you, you can leave. Because I am not gonna marry you when you tell me to marry you. I'm not running on your time to propose to you. Proposal is on my time.
So
if you say, as you can see, I didn't propose to you this year because you said I got until the 31st. So I'm gonna wait till the 31st.
Tomorrow.
Okay, and I'm gonna wait. And what's gonna happen?
You're not gonna propose.
If you leave, then you weren't meant for me.
Okay, but
exactly.
I feel like after a year, he should have known if he wanted to marry me or not. I know we were young, but even now, as we're older, I'm about to be 22. Well, we're both about to be 22, and he's still iffy about it, because he thinks he's right. And I think I'm right, obviously. So this is something we butt heads about all the time. So y'all let us know in the comments what you guys think.
I'm gonna marry you, but just don't put a time limit on it or it's going further back. I tell her all the time, stop telling me to marry you. I'm gonna marry you when I wanna marry you. Just because you say, let's go get married right now. I'm not finna go get married. When are you got until 31st to propose to me. I'm not gonna.
I just know you guys with this bad dating advice are about to get yourselves in trouble. Y'all are gonna run across the wrong guy. It's funny because once again, we say that divorce rates are at 50% and it's because the man isn't doing something right. But you guys are out here giving ultimatums. What if the man that you're giving an ultimatum to doesn't actually want you? You fool around and marry the guy because you think that you're forcing his hand because you're a boss babe and you want to be in control. And now, years down the road, oh, this man ain't a good man. I want to go start another life. Oh man, that man was a bum. Sounds like it might come back to you picked him.
When men say 100 versus accountability, can you give an example of what you mean by that?
Your girlfriend's literally crying and just left, so I would take, that's probably...
Where's your husband?
He's upstairs. Don't touch me again.
I just see red. So I immediately go running to Brett to tell him what just happened.
Yeah. I want to have a word with Chase.
Me?
He just laid his hands on me.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, I just woke up a monster.
Hey!
Ow! outside. He's outside.
This guy's gonna die tonight. Chase is going to die on the front lawn.
Fellas, this is the type of woman who's either gonna get you shot or you're gonna go to jail. That guy barely brushed past her. If her man saw the video, he'll basically say, hey, he didn't even touch you. What are you talking about? Guys, we run off facts. Most women run off emotions. So now the guy's gonna fight. After he saw the video, what you think is gonna happen? He's gonna feel like a because the dude didn't even touch her. Fellas, man, trust me when I tell you this, man. Choose your partner wisely.
Google the richest women in the world, like where they got their money from. It's rough. It's rough out there, guys. They ain't starting businesses. They're marrying dummies. It's almost all of it is divorce. Feminists do not want to hear this. But there was one woman who was the richest woman ever from a startup company, Elizabeth Holmes. She ran a company called Theranos. She started it herself, dropped out of college to start this company, and it was a total fraud. It was all fraudulent. She's going to jail forever. She was worth $34 billion at one point. It was a blood testing company. They falsified all sorts of data, and they lied to investors and all sorts of... She used to dress like Steve Jobs. She wore a black turtleneck and everything, and I saw her speak once.
The hell is all this?
Pick one.
What?
I'm giving you an ultimatum. Video games, alcohol, or me.
You're funny.
Pick one.
You're serious.
You really have to think that hard about it, Jake?
Babe, you're the love of my life. I care about you so much. Like, are you serious right now?
Thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
I need you out by Tuesday.
Okay, I appreciate all the comments. I have been crying for like the last hour, but I'm good now. We're good. We're bouncing back. And I've just been processing. I don't want to be toxic about it and be like, give me the ring or I'm out of here. We just don't roll like that. I feel like the best course of action is to just casually bring it up, but also just stay super focused on me and being the best version of me that I can possibly be. And hopefully soon, if not, then I just have to kind of go my own way. But like even the thought of that literally makes me cry. I just know that that's not the right answer, but I just was unsure of how to get there now. Does that make sense? I don't know.
What is that financial bracket?
At least make at least 100,000 a year.
So if he made 70K, don't reach out to
you. Not really interested.
And there's that magical $100,000 number.
Okay, be taller. She wants a taller man.
Yes.
Now we already got to the money question, which is make at least 100K.
Yes. Yes.
Let's do the Kendra Cam. Okay. All right. Ooh, yeah. We see you, girl.
Yes, I'm a plus size woman, so.
So not only is she masculine and independent, at 5'10", she's well over 200 pounds. Easy. And at 39 years old, a single mom of 2 young kids, I don't see how that's a good deal for any man. For a 40K man, for a 50K a year man, let alone a 6-figure guy.
Men have it easier in society. Would you be willing to switch gender roles with a man?
No.
Why not?
No. See his power.
Why are women more likely to switch gender roles with another woman than she would switch gender roles with a man?
Again, see his power.
Okay.
I don't know.
So if see his power, why are women always talking about how hard it is to be a woman in our society?
Cause dudes ain't I don't know.
Why aren't guys allowed to say that women ain't
Because that's disrespectful. What if your mama was shit?
Well, once again, then why is it not equally disrespectful to say that dudes ain't if women talk about equality?
You know what? That's a good question.
Is it possible that women just want double standards instead of equality?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Modern women want double standards. I want me to be able to live a soft life, but I want you to live the hard life. When we get together, you're effectively signing up to be my employee, an unpaid employee, a forever internship with literally no benefits.
What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort.
There's plenty of pivotal moments. How about when a woman called a man weak for opening her car door? Or the time that men pursued women on dating apps and him saying, "Hey, how are you?" wasn't good enough? How about the pivotal moment when a man is looking out into the open and happens to glance in a woman's direction and somehow he's undressing her with his eyes? Or how about the moment when women considered everything the bare minimum and nothing is ever good enough? Or what about the pivotal moment where men have to fix everything in a relationship to make it work and women have to simply exist? Or how about the time there was a study done that said 80% of women find men unattractive, so why would they try anymore? Or the pivotal moment where men can be accused of SA or grape at any given moment by accident just because a woman is pissed off because she was rejected? Or what about the pivotal moment that women have constantly told men that they're so undesirable that they would rather pick a bear over a human being, as if men don't have feelings? Or how about the pivotal moment that every single man that ever chased a woman was considered a simp and women simply didn't respect them or want to be with them because they're chasing and they're trying too hard? What about the pivotal moment when the nice guy gets left because he's not toxic enough? Or what about the pivotal moment where men can't even simply be respectful without it being considered creepy or too friendly? Or what about the time that women decided that not even Cheesecake Factory was good enough for a first date? That they didn't want to get to know men for who they are. They wanted to know how much money they made and their status. And I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound worth chasing.
I said I was never going to come on here and talk about my dating life, but I don't know, let's have a little fun. I want to talk about the date I didn't go on last night. I'd love to get your take. Let me know if you would have handled this any differently. Now, first thing I want to say is that I have a 17-year-old daughter who has had boyfriends in high school and in middle school that are better communicators than these grown men. Literally, she gets treated better than any of the men that I've met online. And because I'm older, most of the men that I date, they're in their like 50s or 60s and sometimes 70s. Like a lot of these men will lie about their age, and I'll go out, a couple times and then they'll admit that they're in their 70s. And I don't really have anything against anybody's age, actually. You would assume with age would come a lot of wisdom, a lot of kindness, and not the shenanigans, like all the ghosting and stuff that happens when you're younger, but not so much. So anyway, I connected with somebody online and I didn't have a conversation with him on the phone, which is something I typically would do before a date, because he was out in the Hamptons. He was coming back to the city. He was like, a week ago, he was like, let's meet for dinner. Thursday night, he picked a time and a place. I liked the time and the place. So I said, okay, and I responded with my phone number, and I didn't hear from him again. Like, I didn't get any text saying, hey, it's so-and-so from whatever app, look forward to seeing you. I didn't get a phone call. And then yesterday was supposed to be the date. I didn't hear from him all day. I had some friends that wanted to go out, and I was like, I don't know, I may be going out with somebody, I don't know. I waited until like, let's say 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then I assumed, okay, this is not happening. And I'm sure you're asking why I didn't text him to confirm. And it's because I have learned, and Sasha, you follow me, and I know you will agree, you can't do the work for these men. And definitely when you text a man, when you start getting into like texting, figuring out where to go, making up for the things that they don't do, that is really truly the beginning of the end. And I will never text a man again. Like, I literally will never text a man again. Even men that I've connected with that are like, why don't you text me? The minute I take that to heart and text them, it's over. So you don't text a man. You do not confirm a date yourself. You don't let a man keep you hanging. So I didn't. I decided to go out with my friends, and then about 30 minutes after we were supposed to meet, he texted me and he's like, I'm at the restaurant, where are you? So I responded saying, hey, I didn't realize we were on. I responded to you, I gave you my phone number, and I never got a confirmation, so I just assumed we weren't getting together. So he was like, oh, well, do you want to reschedule? And I responded saying, hey, I think we had a misunderstanding here. Since we, haven't been communicating, I think it would be a great idea for us to just have a conversation first, and then we can schedule another date. And then he responded saying, I'm old school. I really just want to set up a dinner. And then I responded saying, I'm also old school. Like, I like an old-fashioned gentleman. I'm all about chivalry, all of that. Bring it. To which he responded, okay, great. Same time, same place next week? Huh? Like, what could be more old school than picking up the phone and calling somebody? Am I wrong? Like, this is a block and delete. Am I wrong or am I right?
I think what you're actually looking for is him to apologize. Okay, that's fine. But then I think what you're also going to try to do is ask him questions about the situation. So it's more so an interrogation. I think it's going to border on nagging. Basically, what you're going to do is get on the phone, and you guys, what you're going to try to do is essentially what you're trying to do right here. You're going to try to, on the surface, control your emotions, but really deep inside, what you're going to try to do is make him seem like a child. Wait a minute, you did this to me. Now you're really going to have to make it up. But you're going to do it in a nice way because you're 50 and you've learned a couple of tricks. You've been around the block a couple of times. So now you're going to, in a nice, sweet way, put him in his place. And now you can take me out. And now you've got to be on your P's and Q's. I don't know if that's going to work. And you're probably going to get ghosted again. That's why he said, I'm old school. I'm old school too, but I think we need to have a conversation. Is this a block and delete? That's why I just said same time, same place. Oh no, I'm going to block and delete him. Fine. Do whatever you need to do. But basically he cut all the conversation off and said, either we're going on this date or we're not.
I'm in such disbelief by what I just witnessed and what I just heard. I mean, I was at Save On Foods and there was a couple in front of me, young, probably like mid to late 20s. And the girl was standing in line and I could see her like looking kind of behind me where there was like the flower section. So she walked over and grabbed a bouquet of flowers that was $27.99 or something like that. And she walks back over and her boyfriend's like giving her this disgusting look. And she like puts them down in the belt and she like looks at him and she's like, I just really feel like I want some flowers today. And he starts yelling at her, like full on like, flowers for what? And there's like a lineup of people behind me and I'm like standing there and I think my jaw was like this. Had to pick it up off the floor. I'm standing there listening to him tear a strip off this girl. You never buy me anything. Like, why do you think you just deserve flowers? And she's like, because you never get me flowers. And he's like, well, you don't just deserve random flowers. And definitely not for $27.99. Sir, why do you have a girlfriend if you can't buy her $27.99 flowers? Like, that will make her weak. Why would you not want to make her weak and make her happy? So this girl is arguing back and forth with him and she's like, whatever, and like picks them up and goes and puts them back. And she walks back over and she's standing there and I can tell she's so upset. I'm just standing there and I'm like, I want to buy this girl those flowers. Like, and tell her, your man is a piece of shit and you should just like walk away now. Because if he can't buy you flowers for no reason, what the f is he actually going to do for you in life? Like, I'm sorry. Like, flowers are like a smidgen of what you deserve, like every other week, once a month kind of thing. Like, to tell your girlfriend you don't deserve $27.99 flowers. Oh my god, I wanted to punch this man in the face. I was like looking at him like, you're disgusting, piece of nasty. So anyways, she comes back and she's just like ignoring him and he's like, hey, like, why are you so upset, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I look at her and I'm like, I'll buy you those flowers. And she's like, what? I'm like, I'll buy you those flowers, like, go get them, I want to buy them for you. And she like kind of laughs and I'm like, no, I'm serious. I'm like, please go get those flowers and I will buy them for you. Like, I want you to have those flowers. Like, you did not deserve to be spoken to like that and be treated like that by someone that you like obviously are in a relationship with, because you guys are buying a whole ton of groceries together. I was like, go get them. And she wouldn't go get them. So I literally walked over and I grabbed the flowers and I told the girl, I said, pay for these separate. Pay for them before I pay for my pay for them when this loser pays for their groceries. I want her to have them. And she started crying, and she gave me a hug, and her boyfriend's like, you didn't need to do that. And I'm like, no, listen to me right now. I'm like, you do not speak to your girlfriend like that. I'm like, that is disgusting behavior. And I was like, and I hope she leaves your ass. I really do. I hope that you leave here and you leave him, and I hope that you feel like a piece of shit, because she did not deserve that. And that was awful. And he's like, oh, well, it was just her birthday a couple weeks ago and I spent a lot of money on her. And she's like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, exactly. Like, I can pick you apart right now, but I won't. I won't waste my time anymore. Like, you're a loser. Get on with your life. And she was like crying, and she was like, you're right, whatever. And she like walked away. So I don't know if they left together or what, but like, how disgusting. In front of all of these people too. I'm like, you're gonna talk to your woman like that? Like, I was like, oh my god, let me buy you those flowers, girl. You deserve those after he talked to you like that. Disgusting.
You're in the car talking all this nonsense, but I can tell you right now, had this been me, it'd have been a problem. A real problem. You guys got this attitude thing to where y'all start talking to anybody any kind of way. Y'all be in their business. You don't know nothing about what they got going on. That woman might have, oh, well, you didn't really spend nothing on me. And then she get home and then she'd be like, well, yeah, actually he did kind of spend a little bit on me. It was your birthday a few weeks. Oh, you ain't spend nothing on me. I just felt like having some flowers a day. Just picked it up. And he said, and you didn't listen to that. Well, what about me? You don't ever get me anything. Did you hear her dispute that? No. If you want to get loud, we can get loud. However you want to do it, whatever you want to do to take it, we can get loud. But all I know is you're about to get out of my business right here, right now, immediately. I'm not playing that nonsense. Oh, well, he's this and he's that. He's a piece of crap and you deserve better and I hope you leave her and all that trash she was talking. You want to embarrass me in public? Today is the day. Today is the day. And it's the day for you. I don't care nothing about what you're talking about. You about to hear me just as much as you want me to hear you. You don't know nothing about what's going on. She's sitting up there going around and picking up. Oh, well, you deserve this. That's the bare minimum, and this and that. You never listen to what the man said. You believe her just because she was sick. Oh, she felt bad. She went. Now, do I think that he should have done that? Probably not. Do I think that he was yelling? No. Oh, he was yelling. No, he probably just, why are you going to get those? Well, I just felt like having some flowers a day. Why? You don't ever give me anything. Basically, what he was saying is, so he said, why? You don't ever get me anything. You're in a grocery store. Guess who's buying the groceries? Guess who's buying the groceries? He was. So essentially what she's saying is, oh, I like these. Put these on your tab. Of the groceries that you're already buying. Put these on your tab. And he was like, wait a minute. You don't ever buy me anything. Didn't dispute it. So I'm buying groceries. Man is probably paying majority of the rent. And she decides, oh, I want some flowers too. I just spent money, a lot of money on your birthday. No, you didn't. Well, we don't know how much money he spent. But we do know that he's probably buying those groceries. And we do know that she was about to add on to the groceries. And we do know that he did spend money on her birthday. What do we know about her and what she spent? Nothing. We don't know anything. Because we're too busy trying to trash him, not worried about what she got going on. It's just, oh, hug her, give her some love, and be on her side. But not asking any critical thinking questions. What's going on between their relationship? Just automatically saying he's the jerk, he's trash, he's a loser, and taking her side. I'm serious. You do that to me in public? Girl.
Okay, dating over 40. Here's my one from last night. You can tell me what you think. Okay, this guy, we're messaging, we're talking back and forth, we're chatting. He has my phone number, I've seen him and everything. I will tell you about him and the situation. So we actually matched on a dating site back in I don't know if it was December, it was around the end of the year. This is August now. So we matched and had a little bit of back and forth and was chatting. We became Facebook friends and just kind of going through it. I was starting to get the feel for the person that he was and just thinking, I don't know that we're going to be the best match for each other. So, but one night he has my phone number, he calls me and we're having a conversation and he wants to go out and I say, you know, I know I've had a lot of experience and at this point I'm just kind of like, if I'm not feeling it, I'm just not feeling it. And I, just didn't see that we were going to be a right fit for each other. So I said that to him. I was just honest. I was just like, I'm not sure we'll be a right fit for each other. And he did not like that very much. And he said, the reason, and I will never forget this, he said, the reason that you're still single is because you are judgmental and opinionated. I hurt my feelings really bad and hung up and blocked him. Well, then a few days later, I remember I was actually sitting at church on a Wednesday night and I start getting these messages from a different number. And he was using his friend's phone. And then he calls me and he was like, hey, can we just start over? And, I was trying to figure out, like, is he just really desperate or does he just really like me? And he was like, I'm not desperate, So I said, okay, I'll give you another chance. And somewhere in there, so we message a little bit and he wants our first date to be at his company Christmas party, right? Big company Christmas party. And I just I just didn't want that, like, go meet for a drink for a few minutes, company Christmas party. Anyway, I didn't go and put him off. He ended up, like I said, friends on Facebook. Next thing I know, he's in a relationship with this, gorgeous, big, voluptuous, whatever woman. And I thought, yeah, see, I knew. Anyway, it doesn't work out with the two of them. And then somewhere in there, he messages me something about work. I posted and everything. And so we do meet for a drink at one place and we go meet some friends at another place. And I still not quite sure. And it's not just that I'm not quite sure about him. Like, I don't feel a good match, that I would be a good match for him. Not just him not being a good match for me, like both ways I'm seeing. Like, I don't think that I'm the girl for him or that he's the man for me, just all around. So anyway, we have our time and go on. And like I said, this has been many, many months because this was last year and now we're already in August. So sometimes he'll just reach out and he'll be like, Sunday fun day, want to go to the lake? It's always Sunday fun day because he's a car sales manager. And so he's always off on Sunday. Sunday fun day, go to the lake, you're no fun. And okay, fine, but don't go. So he catches me at the right time the other night. I'm in the garage, there's all these flies. And he says, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, I'm going out. I have my oldest daughter's going with me. We're going country dancing at this place called Boots and Diamonds. And he was like, okay, see you there. So he's coming. So I'm there with her and kind of just completely forgot about him because we were not messaging or anything. And I'm doing my thing. I'm dancing, having a great time with her. And then the next thing I know, I was at the bar getting a drink. And then I look over and there he is. He's just standing there staring and talking to another guy at the bar. And so I go over, hi, we chat and we go two-step. Actually, can two-step. I'm surprised by that. It was, pretty good. And then he has another friend. We all leave, go to his house. He's got this, really amazing house and everything. And we go hang out like almost all night long. And then come home, and I think I had gotten like 2 hours of sleep, and it's Sunday at this point. So My phone rings and my daughter answers the phone, and he's like, Sunday fun day, ready to go to the lake? And she's like, yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, we'll go. We'll go to the lake. So he rents this big pontoon boat for the four of us, and we go out, and it was an interesting time. We had a good time. There was an incident off the boat, but it wasn't anything like there was in drama. It was just, that's another story to tell. Anyway, so now it's kind of like, I think then later that night he was like, oh, come meet and, have steak, come over to my, come over. Then Monday it's like, come over. Last night it's like, come over and everything. And, do you want to date me? Would you date me? And everything. And I just still kind of feel on the fence about, like, I don't know that I can see us together for, like, the long haul of anything. I can't really even see us being boyfriend and girlfriend at all. I don't, and I really don't know what his attraction is to me. Is it just, wanted to spend a little time and whatever, but that's been my last experience of dating someone. So let me know what you think.
I think he really liked you, and then you said, I don't know. So he moved on, found somebody else, and then that didn't work out. So he came back to you and said, are you ready now? And so now he's trying to see if you're actually interested. That's literally it. I think you might be overthinking it. I don't know what it is. Can you articulate it? Well, my gut, my this, my that. We can't, and this is why men are expected to be really leaders in a relationship. We can't continue to go off of your gut. Sometimes your gut doesn't have all of the information. So what is it? Men have to be able to articulate what it is that they're feeling. So what's happening? What's going on? I don't know. It's just a feeling. Can you describe the feeling? That's what a woman would say. You're locking me out. You're shutting me out. I don't feel connected to you. Describe what it is. But modern women they're fine. They're permitted to continue. I don't know what it is. I don't quite know. And this is why men stop dating. This is why men stop chasing. The man is taking you out on a boat. The man has said, okay, hey, come over for dinner. Hey, do you want to go here? Do you want to meet me there? Hey, let's go to the bar. Let's do something. I'm trying to get to know you. I'm trying to take you out. I'm trying to get closer to you. I don't know. It's this. And the man, by the way, is paying for these experiences. Hey, come to my company Christmas party. That's a big deal. Why is it? Because these are the people that I work with. So if they see, hey, this man might make a lot of money. And so if you come with me to the party, they see you like, oh man, if he really likes you, man, you must be a big deal. If he bought you, you must be a big deal. Right? And so he's trying to say, hey man, I'm serious. I'm trying to get to know somebody. Well, I don't know, and this and that. And you wonder why men don't approach. You wonder why men stay single. Because like I said, he's paying for all of that stuff, but there's no return coming. All you get is uncertainty. Men put out $400, $500, $600, $700, and you still talk about, I don't know.
Can we talk about dating in your 40s in 2025? Because it's just literally a minefield of headphones. I'm sorry, what? Like, convince me otherwise. All of my girlfriends are the same. They're all hot, smart, intelligent, funny women, and it's just the same. They either want a pen pal, they either swipe and then never message. So what are we doing? Where? How are people meeting? How? Also, please don't suggest that I go out to meet anyone, because I'd rather stay home with my dogs.
Another one that thinks all of the women that she knows they're all great.
Call me old-fashioned, or I've been out of the dating pool for a long time. But I decided today I was going to give it a try. I had a little lunch date today, right? And I'm one of those ones, I still believe a man has a role and a woman has a role when it comes to relationships, situationships, whatever you call it nowadays. And I'm sitting there and we order our food and we just having a casual conversation. This Negro had the audacity to ask me, what do I bring to the table? I don't know what type of YN question that is, but for a man that has, I'm gonna say this, for a man that is financially stable, emotionally stable, mentally, physically, whatever you may call it, know their role as a man, and a woman knows her role. So for a guy to ask me that question, everything that I just said, somewhere he's not there. So my response to him was, apparently another what the type's going on right here? I can't be that goddamn old. What these the type of question these men out here asking. I mean, for real? When y'all start doing that?
So again, now that you know that I'm financially stable and mentally, emotionally stable and fit, I'll ask the question again, since maybe you didn't understand it. What is it that you bring to the table? Is gonna get answered.
I don't normally talk about my dating life online, but I just have to speak about the guy that I've been seeing recently. He has sort of been like one for the books. He's really been changing my perception on dating, and I think we all just need to like digest this together. A little bit of backstory: been dating for like 2 months. He's a couple years older than me. We met on Hinge. Since the word go, there's just been like an immediate vibe. All of the dates have been really like well considered and thought out, and there's a lot of effort there from both sides. So on our 3rd date, we went on a day trip out of London. This is not my first rodeo, so I really just wanted to like establish the vibe early on. So when he asked me what I was looking for, I was really honest, and I said, I'm looking for something serious, and it might not be with you, but it also might be, and I need you to be open to that and that not spook you. Otherwise, I don't really want to date anymore. But he kind of thought it was funny that I was like, might not be you, but it's true. Like, we could go on 6 dates and it might not be you, but it also could be. So we need to have this conversation. And
like I said, it might be 6 dates and I decide it's not you. It might be that you didn't spend $500 on me. That's not you. I'm looking for something serious. Well, silly, let it not be but 1 date. And stop wasting my time and money.
He was completely the same, said, yeah, also looking for something more serious, which, by the way, in London, like, never happens. So I was a bit like, whoa. And since then, we've had a few, like, regular check-ins, just to check that we're both still on the same page and, like, nobody's not reading the room. So I'll bring us up to, like, current day, and we had this super romantic picnic planned on Wednesday. I just wanted to have another check-in to see that we're still on the same page and that while I've been away, like, the vibe's still the same. We'd been texting more than ever. He's messaging me saying he can't wait to see me, and I'm the same. When I got there, it just wasn't necessary because the validation that I got that day was just like above and beyond. We'd gone for this picnic and I'd brought like bagels that I'd like baked on the weekend, and he brought like a blanket and some like cremant he'd picked up when he was like in France. But we both like come to the table with bits and bobs and like really made an effort. It's really sweet. So he messaged me saying like, oh, I'm gonna work flexi. Because if we both finish at 4, then we get at least like 8 hours before we have to go to sleep, and like we can hang out together and have like a really nice time. Like cute stuff like this. Like he says this kind of thing all the time. So we're in the park and the sun kind of like bursts through the clouds. He says to me, he's like, you look so beautiful. He was like, do you mind if I take a picture of you? He's not really on social media, which is why I feel very fine with posting this. He's like, I'm not gonna put it anywhere. He's like, it's just like, I just like to have it, and you know, like you just look really nice. And I was like, that is just cute. Like, it's just a nice thing to say. This is not uncommon. He tells me that he thinks I'm beautiful all the time, accomplished I am, ambitious, like smart, funny. Like the validation train is completely left the station with this guy. He really lets me know how he feels about me, which is lovely. And then he talks about how his sister's having a house party this weekend. So I've never met his sister before or any of his friends. He met one of my flatmates in passing, but that's it. We're still kind of early days. He also mentions that his sister's party has like a fancy dress theme, and we kind of leave it there. Later in the night, he says to me, he's like, oh, so like, say for example, if you were to come to my sister's like fancy dress party, like who would you dress up as? And I was like, is this you asking me to go to your sister's fancy dress party? And he was like, yeah, like I think that she would really love you, and I would love for you to be there. I was like, oh, like, you know, I was gonna have this check-in conversation, but like The green flags, they're just there. And to be honest, I'm not really used to that. It's also my 30th birthday next week. He's away for my birthday, but he was like, oh, I'd love to make sure that we do something special for your birthday. So on Thursday, keep it free and we'll go for a romantic dinner. I was gonna go play tennis this weekend. I don't have a racket, but he's the kind of guy that would just have one. So I said, do you mind if I borrow one from you? He said, yeah, absolutely. Why don't you come to mine on Friday and you can pick it up at lunchtime? I was going to a supplier meeting right by his house actually on Friday, so I thought perfect. He said, great, well, why don't I cook lunch for you? We'd established that I was going to work from his for the rest of the afternoon. And I'd even said to him, I was like, oh, is this like all right? Because, you know, I've never done it before. And he's like, of course it would be, like, I'd love to have you there. Things were progressing in like just such a nice way. So I arrived Friday lunchtime, we have lunch together, work from his in the afternoon, and I've got plans in the evening and so does he, but we've like set aside an hour just to like hang out before we both like part ways. Just having a cutesy afternoon, like just being our normal selves and just like going about our day. Our working days come to a close and he's like, I'm just gonna jump in the shower because I didn't have time to have one this morning. So I'm like getting comfortable, like sprucing myself up a little bit. So I have to say, I'm feeling super positive about everything. After that date night, it was so good. And I'm texting my best friend being like, he is absolutely, I think, gonna ask me to be his girlfriend. It's just obvious, like, this is how it goes. He comes out the shower and he says to me, I've been wanting to have like a bit of a serious conversation with you. And he tells me that he is not looking for anything serious. No, really. He says, you are so beautiful and it's been amazing getting to know you and we just have the best time together and it's so fun, it's so easy, all this kind of stuff. And he says, for this part, you need a bit of context. So he's in a band who have played, from what I can tell, like maybe a couple of like low paying gigs in the past couple of years. I've never even heard their music, so I can't really speak to it. But they're getting back together and he says, you know, with the band getting back together, I just know that I'm not gonna have enough time to like give you what you deserve. But I'd love to start seeing you in a casual capacity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. This is not going to be with you. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. But, you know, maybe after 5 dates, maybe after 6 dates, we'll play it by ear. With your money on the line, we'll play it by ear.
There has been few times in my adult life where I have been stunned into silence. But this is one of them. I was honestly flabbergasted. I feel I have never misread the room to this extent in my life. I was like gearing up thinking that we were gonna like shag. That's what I was leaning toward because we'd been speaking about it during the day. I was completely blindsided. And I was sat there and I went, sorry, I was like, I am so surprised. He said, can I touch you? As if like he wanted to comfort me. And I said, no, obviously not. I was like, no. I said, when did you decide this? And he said, oh, recently. I went, okay. And I said, why would you ask me to your sister's party if this is how you felt? And he said, well, that's why I wanted to have the conversation with you so that you would know where you stand before we got there. So you want to take me to your sister's party to say, hi, this is Rachel, the girl that I'm not dating but just want to sleep with. That's what I'm gathering from casual. That's what that is, right? Which we've never been casual. So, and I said, sorry, can I just grasp, like, what are you asking me here? And he said, I really like you and I still want to keep seeing you in a casual capacity. And I said, no, flat out, no. I said, that is 100% not happening. I need to leave. This is deeply uncomfortable. I'd said to him, because I was meant to be coming back to his the next day, that I would leave my work laptop so I didn't have to take it for drinks with my friends. So I grabbed the work laptop, obviously letting him know that I'm not ever going to be coming back here again. He also lent me this tennis racket. Bear in mind, this tennis racket is broken. Look at the state. There's a metaphor in here. So the whole reason I'd gone round was actually completely redundant anyway. So I gather everything and I leave the tennis racket and he says, no, please take the tennis racket. I can appreciate I've put you in a difficult position and I don't want you to be inconvenienced tomorrow. And I just looked at him and I said, thank you for the broken tennis racket. Honestly, I don't know how, but I didn't cry, I didn't shout, I didn't anything. I was in such a state of shock. The woman had no words, which is annoying because I normally have a lot of words. And I get to the door and I'm holding this. And I say, I'd just like to understand, like, why have you waited all day to tell me this? Like, he said, well, I didn't want to ruin any of our working days by telling you this earlier. Robot. What a weirdo. And I just went, okay. Honestly, freak behaviour. That is so weird that I actually have not been able to be upset about it. I'm just pissed off. I really liked him. I wasn't obsessed with him because I don't think that's actually healthy anyway. You're absolutely allowed to change your mind in the early stages of dating. That's completely fine. If you turn around one day and realise that I'm just not for you, that's completely fine. What's not fine is like leading me down this garden path of like, I want you to meet my sister. She'd love you. Let me take this creepy photo of you in the park. What are you going to do with that picture now? What are you doing with that? That's so weird. And being like, I want to take you for a romantic dinner for your birthday. Sorry. Psycho behaviour. And the worst part is that he's going to leave this situation feeling like such a good guy. I was really honest. You were honest, but you were weird about it. Nothing can shock me anymore. I've seen it all. Sorry to bury the thread so much, but I just needed everybody to feel the same shock that I did. Honestly. And just to finish it off, because I know that someone's going to be like, you know, he's going to message you, he's going to come back. I promise you, I will never hear from this man again. They are a different breed these days. They are shameless. They scutter off into the shadows and you will never hear a peep, which, by the way, I'm completely fine with because that is freak.
I want this to be a lesson to these modern women who think that they hold all of the cards in dating. I keep on telling you, but you think that you're going to float through this dating thing just willy-nilly. Oh, it's going to be easy peasy. That was great. I told them what it was up front, and that's going to be it. I keep on telling your silly behind, you need to be asking questions. Well, he's going to lead the relationship. He's going to lead the conversation. I like a man who knows how to have a conversation and lead it. Fair enough. But y'all sit up there and giggling and all that stuff, and you think because you get older, for some reason, you're better with no experience doing it at picking out the guys that are right for you versus the ones that are wrong. And once again, you have no experience doing it. All of the relationships that you've been in have failed. They haven't been good. They've ended on bad terms. You're used to being the one saying, you're not for me, and letting this man walk on by. But now, when the roles are reversed, when a man says, deuce, now you're stunned. Don't touch me. I'm leaving. I'm never coming back here again. But if you had done that to a guy, you'd have been all up on his shoulder, crying with him. This is so heartbreaking for us. And it was really a moment. And then you're going to switch for me. Exactly. It's not heartbreaking for y'all. It's heartbreaking for you. It's traumatic for you. Making you the I never meant to hurt him. But that's just what happened. That's just what had to happen. Who wants to go to the club tonight? Wow. That was a lot. Right. What? You gotta move on. Girls' night out. Let's go to one of the best steakhouses. Let's go to Nobu. Let's go get drunk. Well, that man sitting at home trying to pick up the pieces. And so now I hope you take it as a lesson of how does it feel to keep on dragging it on, to keep on leading it on, to keep on wasting people's money, to come what you really essentially did nicely, and I think it was a bit abrasive to me, but passive aggressively is you try to set the stage. You try to subtly throw your list of demands in there and say, I'm looking for something serious, and it might not be with you. Oh, but you want me to continue to pay for you. You want me to pay for these dates, but it might not be with me. Girl, you must be anyway.